I get it, you're standing in the aisle of a home goods store or scrolling through endless listings, wondering if you're about to drop a good chunk of cash on a refrigerator that will sit there half empty, or, worse, never keep your groceries at the right temperature. The fear of buying the wrong size, the wrong layout, or a unit that turns into a noisy fridge that steals your electricity budget is real. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. And that's the one I'm looking at today. The KoolMore 30-inch counter-depth French door model with a deeper freezer compartment. First off, the whole idea behind a counter-depth fridge is to line up flush with your cabinets so you don't get that awkward overhang that makes a kitchen feel cramped. For a family that wants a sleek, built-in look without tearing down a wall, that promise can be a game changer. But the counter-depth design also means you're sacrificing a little interior volume for the exterior aesthetic. The KoolMore gives you 18.5 cubic feet, which sounds solid on paper, but the real question is whether that space translates into usable room for everyday meals, bulk grocery trips, and the occasional party-size casserole. If you're the sort of shopper who does a weekly grocery run and tends to keep a decent amount of fresh produce, dairy, and leftovers on hand, this fridge can actually feel generous. The French door layout means the fridge side opens wide enough for large platters and big pizza boxes, while the bottom freezer drawer slides out, letting you see everything without having to dig around. I've seen a lot of reviewers complain that bottom drawer freezers become a Tetris board of frozen bags. But the KoolMore's adjustable shelving in the fridge compartment helps you stack taller items like milk jugs or a stack of cereal boxes without sacrificing the door bin space. One of the practical strengths that shows up in daily life is the double flow cooling system. In theory, that means air is drawn from both the top and bottom, circulating more evenly throughout the interior. In a kitchen that sees a lot of door openings, say, you're cooking a big dinner and need to grab a bottle of wine, a few veggies, and a dessert, consistent temperature is crucial. Users have noted that the temperature stays steady even when the door is opened frequently, which helps keep produce crisp and meat safely chilled. That's a real benefit if you've ever opened your fridge, taken out a few items, and then slammed the door only to find your lettuce wilted a few hours later. Now let's talk about the downside that often gets glossed over in marketing copy. Because the unit is designed to sit flush with cabinets, the depth is limited to about 30 inches. That's great for visual harmony, but it also means the freezer drawer isn't as deep as you'd find in a standard depth model. If you're the type who buys bulk packs of frozen vegetables, large family-size ice cream tubs, or likes to keep a stash of frozen pizza for quick meals, you'll have to be more deliberate about how you organize that space. The drawer does slide out, which is helpful, but the shallower depth can make it feel cramped after a few months of filling it up. Another practical weakness is the overall energy consumption. French door models tend to have more surface area for the doors to seal, and while the double flow cooling helps with temperature stability, it also means the compressor may run a bit more often than a simpler top freezer unit. If you're watching your utility bill closely, you might see a modest increase compared to a basic fridge. That said, the unit is marketed as having precision temperature control, and for most households the trade-off between a bit more power draw and consistent cooling is acceptable. Who should walk away from this fridge? If you live in a small apartment with limited floor space, or you have a kitchen that already feels crowded, a counter-depth model might be the perfect fit. The sleek stainless steel finish adds a modern touch that blends well with other appliances, and the handle design is low profile, which reduces the visual clutter. On the other hand, if you're a big family planner who does monthly bulk shopping trips, or you have a lot of frozen meals that need deep storage, you might find the freezer drawer limiting. In those cases, a slightly deeper, standard-depth French door could give you the extra cubic inches you need without sacrificing the door layout you like. What about the everyday user who isn't a culinary guru but still wants reliability? The adjustable shelves are a subtle but significant feature. You can raise or lower them without tools, allowing you to accommodate taller items like a jug of orange juice or a family-sized loaf of bread. That flexibility translates directly into less wasted space, which is something you notice every time you close the door and feel confident that everything you bought fits comfortably. It also means you won't have to keep rearranging items every few weeks as your grocery haul changes. A point that often slips through the cracks is,